Hello everyone. Today I just want to show you how I started painting with oil pastels. I was just thinking about something special, but then I realized that I just want to show you the best way to start a painting. And I will use oil pastels, uh, but the principle is the same, the technique is the same, that you need to uh, start with not details but some general masses. And I will use uh, mixed media Canson paper, which is this paper. Yeah, and it's 220 GSM, and it's kind of thick. It's not very thin, but it's not very thick. It's good, you know. And for as a medium, blending medium, I will use Nail McGilp, which is a Gamblin medium, and it helps just to spread oils. And I use it a lot, and as I'm basically an oil painter. But this medium works very well with oil pastels as well. I will be uh, using a photograph that I did, like, well, when I was painting plein air. And the size is the 12 by 16. And it's actually a blooming tree, redbud. And I start with black, you know. You can start with any color you find appropriate, but I will just start with darks. And I will start with darks. This is the road, and some shadows. This is too light. I think that I will do some dark blues here. So the trunk will be somewhere, because what I'm doing, I'm actually starting with dark colors and blues and black for darks, but you can use any color you see in the shadow. And I'm for as oil pastels, I'm using basically Lightwish, a set of Lightwish, but I also use some Montmartre. I use some Sennelier, and so in fact I use a lot. So I use you see some Sennelier. This is purple, and I'm probably add it a little bit to the black, and so the tree will be somewhere here. Okay, this will be the tree. And I'm actually using a tip of oil pastel, but a good thing if you start using the side, it has some paper on it, and I hate it when you have to unwrap your oil pastels or just your dry pastels. It takes so much time, and I don't like it, but it's good if you use just the side of okay, the side of and there is another kind of road there, but I don't know. So if we have a sunny landscape, we need to start with darks and there will be some dark here. Start with darks and lights. For the light, you can go any light value color, either, you know, this yellow green or just green, maybe just some kind of cooler green. But I recommend to start with some warm color, especially on toned paper like this one. And it seems really light, but it's okay. You can always add some yellow here. So if you start the light planes with really warm greens and yellows, it will help you later. You know, even see when I'm just mixing this light yellow with this blue, I already have this beautiful emerald green, you know. I'm kind of mixing mixing a yellow and some of blue. This is more like, I think, if we talk about color, this is more like indigo, I think, blue indigo. And you can always use some the colors are very soft. I mean, the pastels, sorry, are very soft, and you can, this is all like very intricate shadow pattern with all this, you know, okay, blues and greens. And this is just the tree, which is kind of not very as light as the grass, and in this sense we can we can so the actually I don't blend a lot, I just paint with sticks. But if I want to blend, you see, I'll show you. I will just add some, okay, like some, all these pastels are very soft, and you can use the brush to blend. And so this is a very general, you can even use probably a larger brush. I'm just using a not very large brush to be and will be shadow here as well. So it's well, there are two ways you can use a medium, or you may not. It's up to you. And I think that I will add some kind of, maybe even yellow here, maybe some yellow. Just make it even warmer, I mean the grass. And there is some distant trees, but they seem warm to me. Maybe even kind of this color. Oops, this color. Kind of. And I may add some ochre color here. So what do we have here? Here we have, I will probably use more color rather than black. I may add some purple in the shadows, maybe like blue and purple here. Okay, maybe just some more impressionistic. And here we have some, this is a rosebud, so some of the tree is the shadow. It's more like this purple, and we have some here. So I define the foliage, I mean the blossoms which are in the shadow now. Okay, and I will probably add some magenta, which is Sennelier, and I love this. I really love this color. It's all very deep and saturated and good for the shadows. Okay, so I'll probably just, this is the drawing that I may improve. So I may even use it for, I don't know, for some shadows here, because and maybe some greens here. This is actually very hard water soluble pastel, so it doesn't really work very well. I mean, it works, but you see, I'll probably use more. Though I love, you know, not using the blending medium, but when you work fast and you work on large surfaces like 16 by 20, or I don't know, you don't have really much time, and you work plein, for instance, you need something to just to blend. Otherwise you'll be stuck with oil pastels forever, because oil pastels don't really blend that easily, not as easy as dry pastels. So okay, so I'm actually defining this light and shadow patterns here very loosely, just adding some bits of light, oops, somewhere. Also keep in mind that when you place your shadows, you need to understand that if some oil pastels like this one, it's not very saturated. It looks saturated when you put it right on gray paper without any underlying color. But if you try to put it on darker, you know, it blends with this dark layer. And I highly recommend you to use actually Sennelier. I think that Sennelier is the best. I'm just adding a bit of color here. Sennelier, or especially when you put a lighter value color on darker value. Sometimes it may happen, like for instance this one, this is very, look what I'm doing, this is a very, it has nice color when placed right on the paper, but when you try to put it, like here I'm doing it, to put it over darker color, it actually, you see, it doesn't really leave significant color. I mean, it's very, very thin. It's a thin film. You need to keep it in mind when you, like here, for instance, okay? So you just I should keep it in mind. Okay. Okay, I may add some blues here, which may a little bit too bright, but you know, we can always make it darker, you know. It's just with oil pastels, it's very it's great because you can always mix and add colors and even the light, you know, we can add, it seems very light, okay? This light here, it's even lighter than but as I already said, this is the clouds. As I already said, we can always, this is another road, just we can always make it darker. We can always make, I'm just adding a bit of light here. And this is probably too light, but okay, well, I'll just leave it so you know that I have, for instance, I have let me see, I have yellow. It may be, it's a little bit warmer than this one, and it can always be darker. I can always make it darker later. I'm just leaving it as it is. So I made a mistake, and and the another problem is, you see, I just made a mistake in this line, and so with oil pastels you can this is gray, so I mixed gray with yellow. This is what I did. Actually, this road goes somewhat like this. Okay. Okay. Then we need to define, so this will be the sky, okay? There will be parts of warm pink, and this is Lightwish, and I'm adding this kind of pink so I'm leaving certain areas for the light. I'm leaving these areas for the light because Later it will be harder. Just very loosely, you know, very loosely, like and I'm not doing this is the tree trunk, but I'm not doing any branches yet, any details. I'm just painting doing the light and shadow painting, very loose. And I need some more some darker values here, and some, even some greens. I see some greens in this area. And now I can actually blend it a little bit, because I think that blending will help you to see the painting in a very kind of general shapes. So you see, I need more medium, and so this is basically what I'm doing. Okay, without any details. I'm just added some really general shapes. Okay, and okay, so very general shapes. I can always use some. What I like about Lightwish is that you can easily add these pastels over some dark colors, or between dark colors. Just you know, if you want to work later on the drawing, right? So you can add, you see some. And as I always said, that when you paint something like sunlit grass and you see some colors right in this grass, try to paint analogous colors. Like you see, I'm adding some orange, pink orange here, maybe in here, you know, and here, because actually I can see that we have some light on the trunk. Okay, so and maybe even some yellow somewhere. Okay, and some a cooler green, lighter and cooler green in the distance. Okay, and you see how actually how saturated this color is. I mean, it works really well, and it's amazing. I really love Lightwish. Okay, I can add some even pink colors here, some maybe some neutral colors, so it's all very Well, in terms of color, you can use any color you see. Um, maybe I'll just use some greens here. I don't know. And maybe there's actually some kind of field, you know, and you know, this part is okay, this kind of field looking through. So you see, like when we already have some dogs, it's very hard to put some light and bright colors. So this is the reason you need to work on your lights and darks before you started painting. You think, okay, here will be the light, and here there will be some dark. If you feel that you don't like something, you just you may scrape it off like this. So, but even if you scrape, then the color, you know, the color will be here anyway. So it's yeah, you see the color will be here, and you will need to something like you will need really high quality pastels to add more color here. So like Lightwish, you see Lightwish is very good. So Lightwish is actually very good color, and it can be easily placed on dark layers, which is cool. I'm actually working on some light here, okay, and I will probably add it will be a mixture of some pink and warm pink and warm pink. You see, now here I'm working more like on details, right? And try to not overwork it, because you will have to paint the sky around this tree. So if you add a lot of layers, then you will be, oh my god, what do I do now? Do I have to maybe, you see, if I want to add more color here, I just add I may add some color here, you know, over darker and more saturated color over this, over it. Now I'm already working on details, you know, this is what I'm doing. But be very careful with this, because if you need to, now probably is the time when you start doing some detailed kind of, I'll try to do it somehow. For the twigs, I'm using the sharp edge of Lightwish, but you may use well, I don't know, any actually any I think you can use any sorry, I'm not I'm not talking really well when I'm painting, but yes, you can use uh, any kind of semi-hard or hard pastel or oil pastel, like Craypar or Holbein, or I don't know, Faber-Castell. And I will probably add some color here and even in the shadow, because I find it more like that there is more light, more color in the shadow too. And then I'll probably add some pink. I'm just looking at so what I like about oil pastels, and I want to show you, and actually you're seeing it, that if you unlike in oils, right, you don't have to wait, you just place your colors where they should be. This will be the sky. So this is why I'm saying that you need to define your lights and darks before you start your painting. You can even use white here, you know, because even if you use white, you can always make it bluer. You can just add some blue later, but you need to leave some space for your lights, for the sky, for instance. Okay, like here we have some, I have this kind of very okay, and oops, sorry, where is my, okay, okay, so we have all these twigs, okay, and I suggest that you first paint the shapes. If you paint a tree, you paint the shadows, like foliage or blossoms. You paint the shaded parts and the sunlit parts, and only then you start adding twigs, some other details. Okay, it's much easier this way, because now you have, because each tree has a certain structure, and but you just not first you see just kind of a general structure, and then you switch to some details, and some kind of, I see some kind of dark or something here. Okay, it's just we can add some, I'll probably add some twigs here, so we don't really need this space. And now it's still very general, but I started, you know, working on some detailed parts of this tree, and Okay, I'm trying to figure out what are, and you see this is Lightwish, and I'm adding this bright color here, and it works really well. I mean, it's there. And like I said, with oil pastels, you just add color and it's there. It's not moving anywhere. Okay. What I'm doing now is I'm working on some negative space. I'll probably this cloud here is too white. We don't really need it here, so okay. And I can even add some white, which is fine. And if I add some white here, which is fine too, I will add some blue later, like here you see I'm adding blue. Adding blue like this. So when you paint on toned paper, you need to understand that medium value colors will look darker, much darker than on rather than on a white paper. For instance, like I'm having this kind of bluish blue gray, and it looks like this, and it looks like this, you see, it looks like this on gray paper. So this is the reason that you need to add a bit of white first, I think, and then especially when you paint like light planes, like the sky or some light on the road, you need to think about that. This is gray paper, slightly darker than white paper, and the same as this color. For instance, this is, you see, kind of green, and here it's lighter. It's lighter and more neutral. Okay, so, and in Lightwish I have only this color. Oh, I have like very light blue green, but it's not really the color of the sky. So I think that I will have to blend white and blue. White and blue. I'm sorry, I'm just the phone is in front of me, so I'm actually have to, you know, reach. Usually I paint from iPad, but I'm actually recording now. I'm recording this on the phone, but usually I record on iPad, but I'm using this iPad as a with a reference photo. Okay, so come on, it's not, Jesus, iPad is not. Okay, so in terms of color, you can make your painting more saturated. Okay, you can make it less saturated. Much depends on what colors you see. Do you really see? Hold on. Okay, I'm just adding some light and some light here. I think that I'm adding more. Okay, these are all like details, so much depends on what colors you really see. Oh, you don't see. Maybe even some neutral and some pinks, like cool pinks, swamp pinks. Okay, so I'm just adding some contrast and maybe some contrast here. But you see, I'm actually left some. This is called negative space painting because I see the space around this tree, and I paint with this space. Kind of, I paint around this foliage, blossoms. I mean blossoms. I paint around it. Yeah. So with oil pastels, you just place the colors, and then they are there where you place them. They stay put. And from my own experience, because I started painting with oil pastels in Russia about 25 years ago in 2001, and I already painted from life. We were in Paris and painted boats in the Paris in 2003, and I did lots of paintings in oil pastels from various countries we visited, because they don't break. They don't really, nothing happens to them. Only if you, the only problem with oil pastels is that if you paint somewhere, you travel and you want to sketch, then make sure that it's not very hot outside, because when it's like 90 or even, I think maybe 80 is okay, but when it's 85, 90 and more in Fahrenheit, they start melting. But if they are in a box like this one, it's okay. Like this one, this is Quillox, then it's fine. But if they are, I often keep my oil pastels in trays. I don't really like boxes. I like just plastic trays where I put pastels. For instance, all blue and violet colors, all green and yellow, all orange and red. Okay, so but if they are in like in open stock, like in plastic trays, they start, kind of melting melting and stick to each other, and so it's not possible to paint with them outdoors. Some say that you need to keep them refrigerated. I never did that, but you can always use a palette knife, if like for instance, this is a piece of very, it melted and now it's kind of this piece, but I still can use it. I can add some color here. You see it's very soft. So, but I still can use it, you know. I can use it with a palette knife, as it's very soft. So you just can always add, when the pastel is soft, you can always add, you can work with a palette knife too. Okay, but sometimes, so at some point, you see, especially like when in this area, when I put so many colors, right, it may not work anymore. It may not stick to the paper, and at some point you may stop adding colors because it is just too much, you know. And though I think that another option is, so this is too purple, but that's fine. Another option is that you may spray it with I'm just adding some kind of sky holes. You may start spraying it, and if you spray, then you want to add more colors, then it will work. And I use Sennelier spray. I'll show you. Okay. Yeah, you see at some point. So this is the reason that you need to start thin, and then use already like impasto oil pastels. Okay. I will probably add some more layers here. Okay. So this is basically how I work. You don't have to work like this, but I think that with oil pastels, as colors stay put and don't budge, don't move, then you can add more and more colors. And I use this spray I show you. Okay, I use this. Oh, it's actual soft pastel, but they look the same. I can find my oil pastel. Jesus, fixative, but they all the same. This is like soft pastel, but Sennelier, and the same oil pastel. Fixative looks the same. I also bought. I haven't tried it yet, but I bought a varnish for oil pastels, and I don't know, I never tried it, but I will. I will try it. But I know for sure if you spray your painting, it's not, this one is not finished, of course. I will keep on working on this one for a while. I just showed you how you can start, and then you'll probably work more and more. You cannot stop, right? you just keep on working, and it's so much fun. I love oil pastels. It's just gorgeous medium. And many artists, they kind of, oh, what can we do? I don't know how to spread. The main problem is just to spread, but I showed you that you can use this Naomi Gilp. Okay, I'll show you once again. Naomi Gilp, very good medium. It's actually not fast drying medium, but it helps to spread oils, you know, when kind of oils, you know, sometimes oils are stiff. and it makes them fluent. So when you work with oil pastels, it's perfect. And another medium which I really like is Gamblin. Sorry, it's just I almost used this one. Gamblin Galkid gel. It's a fast drying medium for oil, and it works perfectly with oil pastels too. Some artists use, and I'll show you. I want to show you. Some artists use just a bit of stains. Yes, we have stains here. You see a little bit, right, from this medium, but it's not that bad. Some artists use linseed oil or any kind of oil, and I must tell you that if you use any kind of oil, then like linseed oil or baby oil, you may probably use it on canvas or canvas board, but on paper, the paper will be in this oil on the back, and oil will be everywhere. Another thing you should keep in mind, that when you use oil, just oil, the paper will be too oily, and linseed oil dries very slowly. And imagine that you started using it and then you just cannot. So you can blend colors, okay, but you cannot add more colors. It's not possible because the surface is very oily. And I love to use turpentine. I use odorless turpentine. I think the Gamblin produces it odorless. It's for artists. It's very good, and it blends oil pastels really, really well. And oil pastels, when I blend it, it looks the oil pastels look more like gouache, right, or even watercolor at the very very early stage. But then you start adding layers and it looks more like oil. This is why it's called oil pastels. And it's a very immediate medium. You don't have to wait. In oils, you need to wait for oils to dry. In soft pastels, pastels may come off paper, or you can smudge them accidentally, or they may come off. They may, because it's dry pastels. And with oil pastels, nothing will ever happen. I still have oil pastels which are 25 years old, and they were done in Russia on Canson, very thin Canson paper, and they're still in perfect shape. Colors didn't fade. In fact, colors don't fade. And so the main thing, and moisture will never ruin it. So the main thing is that I keep my oil pastels covered with glassine, which is yes, this is glassine paper. It was in oil pastels box. So you just put glassine paper like this on your oil pastel painting, and I keep them in plastic envelopes. You know, the ones they sell on Amazon for artists and photographers. And I keep my dry pastels in these plastic envelopes, and I keep my oil pastels there too. And another thing, I just did a wrong thing. I framed an oil pastel and I didn't use art spaces. And the gallery actually sold my oil pastel, which was great. But then the customer returned it because she saw it. It was not very visible, but it was visible a little bit. She saw oil pastels touching the glass, and if they touch the glass, of course, if they touch the glass, they leave some marks on the inner side of the glass. So if you frame them, just use art spaces as in dry pastels, and everything will be fine. And I already sold some oil pastels framed properly. So if it is on paper like this, okay, you can glue it to any self-adhesive board, which can be found on Dick Blick. And it is, well, various sizes. You can buy a huge board like 20 by 30 inches, or you can buy a pack of pre-cut self-adhesive boards, like different sizes. Okay, so it's very convenient. Okay, so thank you for watching, and sign up for my channel. I'm crazy about oil pastels and I will definitely post more paintings done with this beautiful medium.